thoughts. Like, I just can't believe, like, this whole situation happened in a town of 600 people, a small town. Like, I don't know, like, I it sucks to see that it happened here, and, like, they kinda probably think that's normal because like, they're growing into, like, Latman school and seeing that, and they probably think it's, like, okay, but, like, us 18-year-olds, like, think, well, 100% it's not okay, and, like, we're not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Like, I was worried when, like, all that started for those, like, younger kids, and I was
Yeah.
also worried, like, they have a girls' washroom in the elementary end, so, like, you never know, like, he could probably go over and, like, think, "Well, I'm allowed to use this washroom," like,
Sure.
like, it's a scary thought, like, you never know what can happen.
In our first episode of No Balls in Women's Stalls, we met Tawny Johnson, a woman from Lampman, Saskatchewan, whom, along with her brilliant lawyer, Alison Payovich from Charter Advocates Canada, uncovered a powerful, long overlooked provision buried in the Saskatchewan Human Rights Code, one that explicitly protects sex-segregated spaces and allows the province to safeguard single-sex areas for women and girls without it being considered discrimination. The Southeast Cornerstone School Division has yet to formally respond to the legal demand letter sent by Alison Payovich on behalf of Tawny Johnson on May 25th, 2026, nor to Rebel News, who requested a statement. Today, we'll hear directly from the girls who lived through it. If the school paperwork that went home to Latman parents at the beginning of the school year had been accurate, it would have said, "Do you give permission for your daughter to share multi-stall girls' bathrooms, change rooms, and private spaces with a biological male who now identifies as a girl? Do you give permission even if it means her speech is being compelled by his new name and pronouns? Even if she's made so physically and psychologically distressed that it routinely drives her to tears, her life will be upended. She will be forced off the school property during school hours to attend to her basic biological functions. Do you give permission for a middle-aged guidance counselor, a male one, to counsel her privately if she doesn't comply, and that you, as a parent, won't be notified because of the privacy of the new gendered student? Because that's not what the school paperwork says. Not even close. While the school pulled girls out of classes in groups to inform them of this new arrangement, they refused to notify parents, a grotesque violation of Saskatchewan Parents' Bill of Rights, which prioritizes parental involvement, claiming, laughably, that it would single out the transgender student. Teachers and administrators offered other options to the girls, like private staff bathrooms or single accessibility stalls meant for students with disabilities, but the message was clear. The main girls' washroom was now open to a boy. All last year, the concerns of the girls were erased, their feelings manipulated. Observable reality was being overwritten in real time. Now, Rebel News is pleased to tell the other side of the story. It's my pleasure to introduce to you two incredibly brave young women from Lampman, Saskatchewan, Reegan on the left and Miley in the middle. These 18-year-olds just graduated from high school and might be the first in the nation to expose the reality of what happens to girls when gender identity is prioritized in schools. What should have been the triumphant end of Reegan and Miley's K-12 journey was overshadowed by months of physical and emotional discomfort, obvious distress, immense frustration, and what amounts to psychological abuse in addition to the lost privacy in their own school. The girls, along with roughly 30 to 40 other female students in the high school wing of their small K-12 school, were segregated, isolated, and told that a male classmate who had declared himself a girl would now be using the washroom meant for them. The girls immediately refused. They left the school and visited local businesses to be assured of a private, safe bathroom. They drove home mid-class just to use the bathroom. Local grandparents altered their schedules so that someone would be home for their little granddaughters should they need to use the bathroom. Parents of incoming kindergartens reported they would not enroll their babies in a school with such policies, and who can blame them? Most of the girls of Lampman High School avoided the space which by law belongs to them entirely for the final months of the year. Pride Month was especially excruciating. Some girls, the ones not able to leave the school property, started limiting their intake of liquid during the scorching hot days of summer to decrease the amount of times they'd have to use the washroom. What these two girls reveal in this interview is everything. They lay bare the very real impact these policies have on actual girls, the loss of safe private spaces, the failure to inform parents, the priority gender identity receives in public institutions, and the heartbreaking defeat of watching their final year consumed by an issue the adults in charge refused to address fairly or at all. They were sensible, honest, and courageous, which Saskatchewan kids are known to be, describing exactly what happened and how it impacted their lives and what they want changed for the younger girls still being held hostage by gender identity in Canadian schools. Their story is not just about one small town. It's about every daughter in Saskatchewan whose basic right to privacy and dignity is being sacrificed. So without further ado, meet Reegan on the left and Miley in the middle, two young women who refused to stay silent.
When you said, can you call my parents, they were like, no.
Because, like, to sum it up, it would be singling that person out.
Yeah.
It would be. We got told that there was other bathroom options and like
For the girls?
yes, but we didn't actually get told that this student was allowed to use the bathroom. We actually got like told from like the student telling other girls like, oh, like, are you comfortable if we're using the bathroom, like if he or they could use the bathroom. And that's how we got told. The teachers didn't tell us that that was really happening. They told that there's other bathroom options that all the girls could be using if they don't feel comfortable with that. So they couldn't even bring that up.
So the Lama School is a K through 12 school.
Yeah.
So I understand that on one wing it's the kindergarten through grade 8, and then on the other wing it is the high school 9 through 12.
Yeah.
Are there any shared spaces in the school? Like, would you guys share a gym or change rooms or
Gym, change room. There's a common area with like a couch and like tables where you would like sit and eat lunch. So like grade 12s to grade 8, I think it is, are all sharing that during breaks and like recesses and like lunches, like anytime other than class time. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so they tell you that this student has decided, and what was the message from the school to you guys? Just that it was this person's right to use the female space?
It was they technically didn't say
Yeah.
that, but kind of like
What did they say?
they said that all they said was they're only like allowed to tell us like these are the safe spots, like other bathrooms. So like the change room bathroom, their staff bathroom, the both gender bathrooms at like at that different end. Like they told us other bathrooms if we didn't feel comfortable using our girls' bathroom with the multiple stalls.
Okay.
That's all they could have told us. They couldn't like talk about the certain student. They couldn't.
But everybody knew
Yes.
certainly
Yes.
who and
Yes.
what we were talking about, but they're
Yes.
tiptoeing around it to
Yeah.
pretend the
Yes.
privacy is like, but your privacy was ignored. Your privacy and your dignity was ignored.
100%.
So in the bathrooms, I just have to ask this: how are the bathroom doors marked? Do you like, are they symbols of a girl in a dress and a boy in a? It is.
Yes.
So they're clearly marked.
Yeah.
Female space, male space.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are unhappy about this, and I would imagine that a lot of the girls were unhappy about this.
Yeah.
And what was the response of the teachers in the school?
They really kind of like couldn't talk about it. Like we couldn't really like go up and
Some of them did come to us like underneath and they were like, we support you guys, like we want what's best for you, but like it's
they
nothing
have to follow the rules.
they can't do anything.
So did they tell you what rules they were following?
the law and like the their policies in the school division.
Yeah.
Girls have good reason to want privacy in change rooms. We have to
Yeah.
disrobe to go to the washroom where we menstruate. Boys do not menstruate.
Mhm.
And we shouldn't be a subject of observation in a space where we're undressed or where we're vulnerable or where we want privacy. Girls'
Yeah.
rooms are often a place we go to like collect ourselves when something goes sideways. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
Like something goes sideways and you're like, excuse me. And you go to
Yeah.
you quickly go to your washroom. Where typically you would find your friends. They could support you in whatever you're dealing with. So then did you guys keep using the washer or did you
No.
stop immediately?
Immediately.
We would go home to use the washroom.
Yeah.
Like even if it was in the middle of class, we'd ask to use the washroom. We'd drive home, use the washroom,
You're
come back.
kidding.
Yeah.
You are kidding.
No, like it was, and the teachers knew that we
Yeah.
were going home. Because they kind of understood where we're coming from. We don't want to have to use that bathroom.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it wasn't.
Like I haven't used the girls' washroom since that
Yeah.
started, since he was able
Since
to
he
use
was
it.
even thinking about
Yeah.
it, I
So
just stopped.
I haven't been in there
Yeah.
probably for 2-3 months now.
Yeah.
Is that right? So your last 3 months of school
Yeah.
was spent driving home to go to the bathroom. So what do you think the younger students that don't drive were doing?
They went to like the singular bathroom that was open after, because like that bathroom was open to who was it? A girl who has like autism or something.
Okay.
Like more who needs special need like help in that bathroom.
Yeah.
So that was closed for like just that reason, but then the teachers opened it up for us. So like we had more options and more like to feel comfortable, but like obviously like they must have used it like those other girls, but like we didn't. We like were tired of it. We didn't want to use that washroom, so yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't use a washroom meant for a developmentally handicapped person if I thought that I was going to displace them from using a bathroom that was meant for their space, which brings us back to the original argument. Should boys be able to opt into female only spaces in schools?
No. 100% no. It's you never know what a person's thinking, so like you kind of have to have like that safety thought, like, oh, like this could happen, you know, like it's
Of
just
course.
like it's a scary thought, and like it can make you uncomfortable or uneasy, you know, like you never know what's gonna happen. So I don't know, that's what I think.
And it's our like sacred spot where we
Yeah.
go. Like how you were saying, like that's where our privacy is. In the school, we're out in the open, but that's like where we have the time to ourselves. And it was kind of like robbed from us in a way. Like just slipped out from underneath
Because we
us.
couldn't do anything about
Yeah.
it. Like we tried talking to the teachers, they couldn't do anything about it. Like
So what did you say to your teachers? What did you say?
basically what like we've been telling you. Like this is kind of like brutal how 40 girls who don't feel comfortable are getting pushed to the side. Like our feelings aren't being seen, like, you know, and he's able to go in the bathroom because he's allowed to. Like he has the right to or whatever. So like I think yeah, I don't know. You yeah.
Um like they just kind of, I don't want to say brushed it off because they couldn't do anything, but it felt like they could have done more. They could have like told us advice that we could have done to like just do something else, because it was basically you can't do anything about like we can't do anything, you can't do anything, and that's what sucks so much about it.
It's it's so unfortunate that
Yeah.
like when you have 40 girls that are saying that is a boy versus one boy that's saying he's not. It shows everybody knows
Yeah.
who the boy is.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Okay. So where did you leave things with school? Like how do you feel about
Well,
leaving the school?
in honestly, like towards the end, everything kind of got quiet. Like it kind of got pushed to the side 'cause we're like, we have like one couple weeks left. Like, you know, like we can't do anything about it. So basically, we kind of like felt defeated in a way. Like we couldn't like do anything to like other than using other bathrooms or going home. So like everyone kind of just like forgot about it, even though they didn't like I know when I walk by that bathroom, I just feel uncomfortable already that like this school's letting this happen. Well, I shouldn't say this school. The policies and the law like is letting this happen. Like it's crazy to me that this is happening.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, honey?
How it got left, like, I just
Mhm.
because we were looking forward to graduation, and it
Yeah.
is you wanna focus on that rather than have this
It's such a big
Yeah.
moment.
to consume your last few, and that's what, like, I wrote in my, statement there was
Yeah.
how, like, it just this has consumed the last few months or weeks of
Mhm.
school, and it just made me sad that that's what happened, but now, like, it just in the back of my mind because
Yeah.
like, that's all I can think about now, but
If you could encourage our government to make changes that would best uphold girls in education, what would those changes be?
I think that biological males should not be allowed in the women's washroom. That's what I think because just like what we've been talking about, all like the impacts that led on us girls, 40 girls leaving and like not going in that bathroom. Like I think that's what should be changed. And like we said, like we did not feel seen. Our feelings didn't get seen. Like that's where and then they post like S the self whatever.
Southeast Quarter Zone Public School Division?
Yeah. Posting like mental health Monday where like I didn't feel seen, she didn't feel seen. Like that I think that the law should be changed into like I don't know, maybe a vote system where like if everyone's comfortable with him using the girls' washroom, sure. But no one was in that
Oh, and
fact.
I will argue with that like
Yeah.
right away. This
Yeah.
is why. Nobody else can give consent for you or anybody
Yeah.
else. So if you don't consent, 99 people can come along and say, "Well, but we said you say no, that's it."
Yeah.
There is no consent. You
Yeah.
can't give consent for other people, and there are people who will never,
Mhm.
ever, ever be okay with this. As a woman who's had this experience myself, but in a more terrifying and like really truly aggressive way, I can tell you that like the fear that is struck into a woman's heart when they encounter a male in a female only space
Mhm.
is just indescribable
Yes.
because we're biologically wired to have fear of
Yeah.
men in
100%.
private spaces.
Yeah.
So, Miley, what do you think? Like, if you were to give the government some advice, like, what would it be? Like, here they're going to be watching.
Yeah.
You may as well tell them what you want.
probably to maybe put us ahead, almost like not saying that like nope, because it should be fair, but it's just when it comes to those circumstances, it's putting us down and bringing them up, and it makes like people sad. It makes us angry. It makes us sad. It makes us feel powerless. It makes it like it's just do something,
Mhm.
like rather than like
Yeah.
just do something to
100%,
to help
Well,
us.
the good news is a couple of years ago, just before the election, this issue sort of like it was flamed, right? And Premier Scott Moe said something sort of in passing a little bit, and he was like, "My first order of business, my first order of business, should we be elected, is to have biological boys in boys' rooms and biological girls in girls' rooms." And then right off the election, he kind of walked that back.
If we're reelected, I'll be very clear. There will be a directive that would come from the Minister of Education that would say that biological boys will not be in the change room with biological girls.
However, with this legal discovery that we made in Latman, Saskatchewan, it would be very, very easy for Scott Moe to look at our existing law, the clause that says it is not discriminatory to bar entry of wrong sex people into single sex spaces. He could point to that law and just enforce it.
Yeah.
I think he should enforce it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Especially for the little girls, because even though you guys, and I'm so happy that this you can sort of look forward to what's next in your lives. There's a whole bunch of little girls in that school that would experience the same thing again if the same thing happened.
Yeah.
And are we willing to chase little Saskatchewan girls out of education, rob them of their opportunities, um, really, really steal their futures from them on account of one boy?
Yeah.
Are we willing to do that?
No. No, 100% no. Like, I know, like, those grade 8s that are using that washroom are probably kinda, like, naive and, like, don't really, like, process what's going on, like, you know,
Sure.
like, they kinda probably think that's normal because like, they're growing into like Latin school and seeing that, and they probably think it's like okay, but like us 18-year-olds like think, well, 100% it's not okay, and like we're not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Like I was worried when like all that started for those like younger kids, and I was also worried like they have a girls washroom in the elementary end, so like you never know, like he could probably go over and like think, well, I'm allowed to use this washroom, like
Sure.
like it's a scary thought, like you never know what can happen.
Sure.
Yeah,
What did your parents like? What was the response of your parents?
they did not like that.
No.
100% no. Like I heard some of the girls like in my room or like in the high school, and that like they might get pulled out of school because they did not like, the parents did not like the whole situation. Like it's brutal. It's very sad, and like yeah, I don't know, yeah.
They didn't like it though.
No, they hated it. No.
Huh.
Yeah.
What about your
My parents, they were angry. They're angry
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And but I also know that they're grateful for Tawny to be stepping up and to be doing something about it, because she doesn't have a girl.
No.
Like, she doesn't have a daughter in Watman school. And so for her, oh, sorry. So for her to step up and to do that for us, I know we're all grateful. We're
yes.
all so thankful
Yeah.
for her.
My last like thoughts, like I just can't believe like this whole situation happened in a town of 600 people, a small town. Like I don't know, like it sucks to see that it happened here, and like I don't know, but I'm glad it's kind of over. We're done with it. Well, like my grade is, but I truly hope in the future it does not happen, and I hope the policies or the laws get changed about this whole like transgender stuff. It's brutal. I think it's bad.
It is bad. It is bad.
Yeah.
When girls are having to defend their biological reality and their eyeballs,
Yeah, I'm happy that it's in the back of my mind now. Like it was something that kind of almost took over our life. Like that's all we could think about. Like we would drive around at night, and that's all we would discuss was like if there's something we could do, if there's something,
Yeah.
or just to voice our frustrations with it with each other.
These girls saw the courage it takes to speak up, and they joined the growing chorus of students and parents demanding change. Support them and the children of Saskatchewan and Canada by adding your name to the petition at stopclassroomgrooming.com. Support the girls of Lambton, Saskatchewan, the children of Saskatchewan, and all of Canada by adding your name to our petition at stopclassroomgrooming.com.